Now on GMA with an actor whose film career has spanned more than 40 years, from The Goonies to Dune, and now Josh Brolin has a new memoir, From Under the Truck. Josh, welcome back to GMA, man.
Thanks, man.
Always
40 years?
40 years. Can you believe it's been 40 years for you?
Because I'm only 38.
I know.
Jesus, what happened?
You started before conception.
I was acting before I was born.
But congratulations
Thank you, man.
on this book.
Thank you.
And you cover so much. You cover your acting career. You cover the movie, your family, struggles with addiction. What made you think this is the right time to write a book?
I don't, so people keep asking me that because I'm too young to write a book, but I've always written. I've had probably 90 journals since I was 7 or 8 years old. So when I would see these, when I'd go back into these, you start revisiting this time of when you were a teenager. You and I were just talking about kids. What was that like? So when you have teenagers, I get to go back and revisit what it was like having a teenager, what it was like hitting 20 or 30 or whatever. So I've written probably 3 books that I threw in the dark corner and let them accumulate dust. And finally, instead of buying a Porsche, I wrote a memoir. It's my midlife crisis.
Your midlife crisis.
It is,
to share your life with everybody.
It's like it just activate instead of freak out and, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I'm 50 now and this. And I wrote a play. I started directing. I wrote this memoir. So I feel very active right now.
And you write a lot about your mom.
I do.
And she took care of a lot of wild animals, wolves, bobcats, all those things when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of you in a crib with a mountain lion. So what was that like growing up with all these animals?
Literally the most irresponsible parent imaginable. Like that's not a cub. That's an adolescent mountain lion. And I have a mark on my face, so I don't know if it just bit me or what. But anyway, we had wolves. My brother was attacked by a wolf. He had 60 stitches in his leg. We used to have to clean the cages. It was just part of ranch life. She's from Texas. She was nuts. And then she had us. And we suffered the trials and tribulations of being the kids of Jane.
But then when you were 16, you went to live with your father.
I did.
After James Brolin.
Slept on the couch.
Yeah, but then you booked Goonies.
Yeah, not right away. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
I went to go sleep on the couch and then this and that, and I started auditioning. I had come up with a resume that was total bull, 100%. I made up plays, I made up theaters. The Librero International Theater in Italy doesn't exist. And I went out to get an agent, and one finally, I think they all knew, but one finally said yes. I probably went on 350 auditions before I got the Goonies.
Wow, so never give up, basically.
Never give up, but I think it was an accident. I don't think I was very good, not in the Goonies, but just as an auditioner. You know, as a guy going in and pretending like he was. Anyway, I got that. I think I looked right. I think I was right, and it just happened, and it was all downhill from there. After the Goonies, it doesn't get any better than the Goonies. It doesn't get any better than that. But you say you may not be good as an auditioner, but you're great in what you do. No Country for Old Men. Thanks.
Old Men. We talk about that. One of my favorite movies. You talk about that. You talk about working with the Coen brothers. What that was like.
Amazing. I mean, two people always ask me, was it, did they argue? Did they this? Did they that? They don't argue. They're some of the best filmmakers. I mean, I'm close with them. I've done 3 movies with them in a short. So, yeah, I've gotten lucky, man. It took me 20 years to get lucky, but I got lucky eventually.
But you got there eventually.
I got there eventually.
And you also talk about your addiction and how your stepmother, Barbara Streisand, really challenged you about your sobriety.
She didn't challenge me. She was just honest. I'd walk into the house and I'd say, hey, can I have a glass of wine? And she said, aren't you an alcoholic? And I'd be like, all right, step back. Like, it's all right, just want a glass of wine. And she was just always honest with me. It's been, 27 years since they've been together. I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate forthright women in my life, and I have a lot of them. I had 3 girls, and they're all personalities.
All keep you in check.
Personality. They all keep me in check. Yeah.
And you have a number of films coming out this or next year.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about?
Knives Out 3 is fun. That's a fun movie. Daniel Craig and Glenn Close and Ryan Johnson directed it. So really, it was one of the first movies I've read in a long time where I was like, am I good enough to do this? The writing was that elevated, and I think that's good. I got Weapons coming out. Dune 3
Are we
may
gonna see you in Dune
I don't,
3?
you never want to assume, but I assume.
Well, let's not assume
You'll see
it.
me in
Let's
the
just
sand
flat
again.
out tell them you need to be in it.
I
We
need to be
you.
in, dude. I think it's going to happen. I think I've heard it's going to happen, and I'm waiting for the word.
All right, I like
right,
that.
man.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Hey, Josh, always good
Nice
to see you,
to
man.
see you.
Congrats on this book.
Thank you.
All right, and everybody out there, make sure you go pick up From Under the Truck. It is available right now.